to sleep. Somebody sold my little boy peep. Hey, thanks for joining me today and welcome back to another, is it Rockabilly guitar session? Rockabilly wah-wah pedal? Didn't you read in the internet that you don't need effects to play Rockabilly? Well, welcome to my world. Actually, if you just think of, the vast majority of guitar effects are coming straight from the 50s. I mean, you name it. Overdrive, distortion, Rocket 88. Tremolo, recall guys like Dwayne Eddy or Bo Diddley. Well, what else? Vibrato. No, Lonnie Mac was from the 60s and he didn't play Rockabilly, but I could easily imagine some of Lonnie Mac's parts in Rockabilly context, just like also the fuzz, which was invented by Grady Martin. Well, it was once again 1961, but still it was a country/rockabilly scene in that context. And finally, the wah-wah pedal. This one is a so-called Fender wah volume pedal. The story of this video, for me, started when a nice Swabian guy, an old friend of mine called Vandal, who plays steel guitar in a country/honky-tonk band called the Range Busters, based here in Stuttgart area, Germany. Check them out, these are really nice guys, nice music. So that guy asked me if I could repair this one. So what's this? Unlike modern days wah pedals, which use active circuitry, so something based around LC filters modulating its resonance frequency. I'm sorry for being too nerdy. So this old thing is nothing else but just your simple guitar's volume and tone controls in a pedal. So if you do it like this, you manipulate tone control. Sorry, volume control. While the tone control, to manipulate the tone, you do this motion, left and right. And essentially, this kind of thing, well, maybe not exactly a Fender, most likely a Bixby, was used by Chet Atkins in his 1959 recording, the song called Boo Boo Sticky Beat, an instrumental number, which is known as the very first wah-wah guitar part in the history. So once again, my friend asked me to repair this, and once the job was done, I started testing it, and I played almost immediately, kind of subconsciously, without thinking of it, I played the riff that you have heard in the beginning of this video, which is actually a riff from a Hoyt Johnson song called Little Boy Blue. Wow, thought I. I started researching and I quickly found that while Boo Boo Stick Beat was recorded in 1959, some 2 or maybe 3 weeks later, after that session, Hoyt Johnson recorded his Little Boy Blue, and most importantly, the guitar player on that session was also Chet Atkins. So which means that although there is no hard evidence, but it really sounds like Chet Atkins decided to use the same principle, the same trick from Boo Boo Stick Beat for this song as well, for Little Boy Blue. Well, these guitar parts are not much about sophisticated guitar picking. It's mostly about the sound and the wah-wah effect. So it would make sense to take a look at my signal chain and And how do I achieve that kind of effect? Well, I won't try to pretend that I'm able to replicate precisely the sound of Chet Atkins here using the tools I have available in my Rockabilly guitar bedroom, as I call it. But at least I hope I was able to get into the ballpark. So let's take a look. So here is my signal chain. I decided to get the wah effect first, to get it right first, and then to shape my overall tone. So the first thing in the chain is the wah-wah pedal itself. Then out of this wah-wah pedal it comes to the overdrive here, which is a pretty transparent overdrive, and as you can see, not that much of the drive. So the drive setting is well below noon, and the idea is just to add some hair to the signal, a kind of overdrive that can be felt more than heard. And after that, from here it comes straight to my tone shaping tool, which is an EQ pedal. And now what about a tone shaping? So if you recall the original recording, the Chet Atkins sound, it was trebly, thin, lacking some body, should I say chimey, voxy. Well, and definitely Chet didn't use a Vox, and I don't use a Vox either. This is VHT Special 6, it's a Fender amp, so in order to get some chime, I've rolled the tone all the way up. And then back to my EQ pedal. If you look at the frequencies here, the bass is pretty much at noon, so no magic in the bass region. This is the overall volume, by the way. Treble is somewhat boosted. And then there is some magic in the mids. First of all, upper mids, to add some extra edge to the sound, I've boosted upper mids in the region of 3 kHz, and the other one, the low mids, and this is the most important setting. As you might remember, I've mentioned that the original Chet Atkins tone was lacking body, and body of the guitar sound comes from somewhere 400 to 600 Hertz region. So this is around 500 Hertz, and here I'm cutting it. So that was the signal chain. Now about guitar. From this angle you can clearly see I'm using neck pickup. And there is a reason. So this wah pedal is essentially a tone control, that is a treble roll-off. So what if you roll off the treble? You have nothing but the bass left, and there is not much bass in the bridge position. Meaning if you use bridge pickup, then you have nothing left when you close the pedal. While the neck pickup sound is somewhat more balanced. And then to compensate for the boominess of the neck pickup, as you might have noticed, I'm picking directly over the bridge pickup, so not like this, but like this. It's again a little bit more chimey. Now just for the comparison, let me switch to the bridge. And back to the neck. Now there is yet one more crucial part of the sound which you couldn't see in my signal chain because I had to edit in the box, in my laptop, after I recorded the demos for this video and heard the actual result in my headphones, which is compression. When you roll the tune off, I mean when you close this wah pedal, you actually decrease the volume, so you roll off some frequencies and the perceived volume gets much lower and gets actually lost in the mix. And you have to even it out somehow. Well, how? Using a compressor. And the compression setting on my demo recording, I made it really drastic. So, if you are curious, it was fast attack, so something like 0.7 millis, then pretty low threshold, so there was a lot of gain reduction, and last but not least, the compression ratio was as crazy as 10, so it was pretty much hard limiting rather than plain compression. And now, finally, let's learn the song. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. When I was in a haystack fast asleep, somebody sold my little boy Peep. My cow left home and sheep left too, and my little boy Peep left a little boy blue. I'm hunting my cow and hunting my sheep, 'cause I gotta find my little boy Peep. I just gotta find my little boy Peep. Well, this one is pretty simple. It is essentially just a bunch of chords and riffs, plus some wah-wah pedal trickery. What about the wah-wah pedal? Just to remind you, the motion is like this. So it's essentially just a tune control, just like the one you have on your guitar. And when it's all the way to the left, it's closed. When it's all the way to the right, it's open. And the magic happens when you do this. Or this. So this is actually the first riff of this song. The chord here is, well, imagine A major chord in the open position. And now we will add first string on the second fret. So it's actually A6 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, wow. Now the next riff, the next chord is just you're playing D major, and the wah pedal motion and the rhythmic pattern is essentially the same. And that's all you need to play the first verse of the song. Now let's check the second one, the second verse. Well, my little boy Peep never was untrue, but now she's gone and left a little boy blue. Well, I don't know just where she's at, but I think she's rocking with some cool cat. When I find the Tom that took her to town, I'm gonna roll his collar down. I'm gonna roll his collar down. Well, the second verse. In the very beginning, there is this A chord. Well, actually, it's E shape on the 5th fret, which is A chord, A major. But Chet Atkins uses only the first 4 notes, the topmost 4 notes. So, 2nd string, 1st string, 3rd string, and 4th string. Like this. The pedal motion and the rhythmic pattern are essentially the same as in the first verse. Now, in the upcoming breaks, it moves all the way to the 12th fret. Well, let's think of our good old A major chord, this one, in the open position, and let's leave only 3 topmost notes: first string, second string, and third string. And now let's move it all the way to the 12th fret, meaning we will have to fret also the first string on the 12th fret. And then this shape needs to get moved 2 frets down and then back up. And adding a similar pedal motion, it will be like this. So that's the first riff, the first break within the verse, I mean, and in the second break, pretty much the same. A little bit simpler. So the first variation was like this once again. And the second one is. Now for the next break in the verse, it goes down below to the 5th fret, making it D chord, and the rest is essentially the same. And back to the 12th fret. And that was the whole second verse. Now to the third one. Been a blowing my horn all over town, but my little Bob Peep just can't be found. Well, I can't eat and I can't sleep, 'cause I gotta find my little Bo Peep. She told me her love was true, but now she's gonna let the little boy blue, and now she's gonna let the little boy blue. Okay, so the third verse starts with the same A6 chord, just like in the very beginning of the song, and absolutely the same riff, the same pedal motion, same everything. 1, 4, 1. But then it moves to the 5th fret, this chord, A chord, a part of this E-shaped A on the 5th fret, and it goes like this. So a little bit more complicated. The left hand is doing this. So here it alternates between A and D, which is a bar on the 7th fret, 2nd, 3rd and 4th strings, using the ring finger of the left hand, and quickly back. Once again. So that was without the pedal, and now with the pedal. Watch the foot. Then the same thing moves all the way to the 10th fret. So it is a D chord and D chord alternating with G chord. So that was without the pedal, now with the pedal. and back on the 5th fret. Well, and that's everything you need to know in order to play Little Boy Blue. So now let's take a quick look into the actual very first wah-wah recording ever, wah-wah guitar part ever, that is Boo Boo Stick Beat. Well, we don't go through the whole song, we will learn only the first part of it, and the second one is, well, it is somewhat different, but at the same time it is pretty similar to the first part, and all of the tricks from this song will be covered. Let's start with the chords, and well, just imagine you have your typical A chord in the open position with open strings, A shape. Now we will have to leave just 3 topmost strings out of it with the first string open and then move it to the 2nd fret, so it becomes B major. And obviously we will have to fret 1st string at the 2nd fret. So now, from this, it goes like the following. B major, then 2 frets down, A major, with the open 1st string, again B major, then 3 frets up to the 5th fret, keeping the same shape. This is D, and back to the 2nd fret, again B major. So essentially it is like this. As simple as that. Now you can play it slightly differently. If you imagine E shape, this good old conventional E shape, move it all the way to the 7th fret so that it becomes B, and keep only 3 notes of it, that is 2nd string on the 7th fret, 3rd string 8th fret, 4th string 9th fret. That's essentially the same thing, but as you might remember, I was hunting for more treble, and the truth is, the lower you are on the fretboard, the more treble you have. That's why. Now let's add the wah pedal. Right now it is in the rightmost position, so it's wide open. And actually it should be moving like this. So you just have to open it on each and every chord. And that was the first lick. The next one, it is very similar. First without the pedal. So the first part is absolutely the same as the first lick. And from now on we will have to make a slide down to the 2nd fret. So the first chord, the first B chord, will be just slide, and then the second one will be played with the right hand. And then A, and back on B chord. And now we will have to add absolutely the same pedal motion. Now the next lick, and here we will have to use this E shape on the 7th fret, or actually these 3 notes of it. It starts with a slide all the way to B, 4th string, 9th fret. So these are the chords. The first chord, the first one is actually all the way on the 9th fret, simply bar on 2nd, 3rd and 4th string. That's actually E, and then back on B. Like this. Now let's add some pedal motion. It will be something like this. So before this E chord, you will have to close the pedal and quickly open it. And that's it. And then the continuation of this lick. The notes here are actually B, 4th string, 9th fret, A, 4th string, 5th fret, 7th fret, and F sharp, 5th string, 9th fret. Yes, 5th string, 9th fret. And then once again, so the whole lick all together. You might have noticed I'm also playing some dead notes. Chet Atkins doesn't do it, I do it, so it's up to you. Now the next one, and here we have to get back, or at least I'm getting back to the 2nd position, and the chords go like this. So nothing really new, but now watch the pedal. So here it starts with quick pedal motion. And now slow motion. Back, open, and again slow. Now the last part, the chords here are first, of course, B. This is E, 7th fret, back on B. This is F sharp, 9th fret, the same shape, back on B. E, 7th fret, and back on B. And the pedal is moving like crazy. So just rhythmically, like this. Wam pam tam pa tam tam ba dam, wam pam tam pa tam wam ba dam. And what's interesting, the final note, the last note of this lick, the last chord of this lick, and then slowly closing the pedal. Just kind of to let the note gradually die. So that's it. Now let's play the whole part. And that was it for today. I hope you've enjoyed it and hope to see you at some later point. Bye!